Hello, I'm Hannah Kana and I am the author of GODKILLER, which is out in the US on September the 12th, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about that, a very little bit about me. I am a writer from the northeast of England, from Northumberland, and I currently live in Edinburgh in Scotland, and I'm so excited to be bringing this book to you. So this book is about Gideon, who is a god killer, and she kills gods for a living and she loves it until she finds a god that she cannot kill, who is Skedi, a little god of white lies, who has somehow found himself attached to a little noble girl who's on the run. So Gideon has to find a way to separate them. So she takes them to the ruined city of Blenraidin on a quest to split them apart so she can kill the god and save the girl. But on the way they run into a knight-errant who is on a quest of his own, the secrets of which will begin to unravel everything about the world as they know it. So that's the kind of the core concept of the book, and the inspiration behind it is manyfold. I wanted to write a classic quest, something that along the lines of, you know, the Odyssey or Gawain and the Green Knight or Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, like all these amazing, exciting like stories that really are in our everyday psyche of how stories should be told and how fantasy stories should be told. So I wanted to kind of bring that to the fore and play with the delightful tropes that had been built into it. But I also wanted to mess around with it a bit and to write it fresh and write it new, from a different perspective. And, you know, with that in mind, I wanted to write this main character, Gideon. I desperately wanted to write a big, bad, funny, strong woman who was irreverent as all hell. And what's more irreverent than killing gods? I mean, that's like top tier. And so writing Gideon was all of these sort of delightful aspects of this character, her unlikability, her humour, her kind of no-nonsense attitude, but also her kind of heart of gold as well. And, you know, that classic kind of story of an older, gruffer warrior having to adopt a younger, precocious child. And I enjoyed bringing out those kind of classic ideas in fantasy and twisting them just a little. I also wanted to bring out like the sort of idea of gods in fantasy, and you know, we're getting so many brilliant classical Greek myth retellings, and I wanted to kind of bring out aspects of gods and folklore and storytelling, and these kind of ideas as gods as not kind of perfect but capricious and flawed and, you know, kind of terrible and but also potentially really great. And I just kind of like really wanted to thread that through the story as well. What I want readers to take away from this is my love of fantasy, is your love of fantasy as well. So those aspects of the books you read when you're a child and the books you read now, and that sense of immersion and that sense of adventure, I really wanted that to kind of to come with this story. So you're kind of exploring the world as you go along on this quest. I also wanted it to be a place where readers feel welcome. The world is queer norm. The characters in it are diverse and wonderful and exciting. And I really kind of wanted to make it a world that was where anyone could play around in. Like, it's your world as well as mine. And I also wanted to bring out ideas of found family and of love that we make and love that we make for each other, and the complexities of that, and community and faith and belonging, and to kind of bring those ideas out in the story of four people or three people and a god going on a journey together. So the readership for this book, I'd say it's either people who are really immersed in a love of fantasy and read fantasy books all the time and want kind of something sort of fun to play around in, that's quite, you know, it's quite short, so it's a little delightful adventure. But I also kind of would love it to be people's first introduction to fantasy as well. So a place where people discover a new genre and can start to cut to grips with that is something I really like to come out of this as Godkiller. And I think because it is nice and short, it becomes a really brilliant bite-sized introduction to this world of worlds.